Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be going over a unique item that is one that I was really excited for, but kind of let me down, and that is the Strike of Stormhorn. The Strike of Stormhorn is an interesting unique which strives to create an alternative path for ball lightning besides obviously the circular ball lightning, giving you another option on potentially how you could utilize it. Let's go over essentially how you could potentially utilize this, and also obviously talk about the item itself. First off, Strike of Stormhorn has a special implicit which cannot be affected by masterworking. That is, chance for ball lightning projectiles to cast twice is converted to chance to cast super ball lightning. So basically, it gives you essentially a chance of turning your ball lightning into a super ball lightning, which is unfortunate though because it also kind of like takes away, as far as I can tell, your ability for the ball lightning to cast twice. Not really quite sure how that functions, but it does function in a very odd way. It's like, imagine this. Imagine you had a 100% chance for your Zelda to get 2 ball lightnings. Well, instead of 2 ball lightnings, you get 1 super ball lightning. So it's a chance to get a super ball lightning, if that makes any sense. Then we have the critical strike damage, which is up to 108.5%. We've got projectile speed, which is a really interesting mechanic and actually does help out a ton with this particular ability. It allows the ball lightnings to travel faster. If you've never seen ball lightning, let's look at ball lightning real quick. And we're going to show how ball lightning functions. So it doesn't really travel very quickly. In fact, you generally don't want it to, though. Like, the entire thing about ball lightning is that you want it to be kind of slow, because as it travels through the target, you want it to dish out more damage to the target, like, multiple times. Like, if it's fast, then it travels by the monster too quickly, and it doesn't hit the target, like, multiple times. So if you're casting multiple of these, you can get, like, 3 hits off with the slow nature of the ball lightning, which is honestly kind of what you want. Now, with this particular item, though, it increases the speed of the ball lightning tremendously, and you can see this by just playing with how it works. Unfortunately, it also kind of reduces the overall, like, length or, like, distance that the ball lightnings can travel, which is unfortunate, and we'll talk about that as well. It has 2 to 3 to ball lightning, which is obviously very nice because you're doing a ball lightning build, so having plus to ball lightning is important. And then, of course, we have the chance for ball lightning projectiles to cast twice, which is important to actually get the super ball lightnings in the first place. And this one goes up to 26.2% with a greater affix. Now, of course, you're probably going to end up running another item that has more ball lightning damage on the other side, or chance to cast ball lightning twice. So you should be able to easily get up to 50%, if not much higher than 50%, between 2 items. The unique effect on this is ball lightning splashes on impact, which is rather unfortunate because this means that the ball lightning is eaten up. And I didn't particularly like the way that this worked because, well, I mean, just look at how beautiful it is. Like, hold on, let me get some mana regeneration here, because I get mana regeneration from my firewalls. And when I cast a large number of ball lightnings in a row, like, you get so many, and they travel for such a long distance that you can potentially have them hitting, so many various monsters because they pierce through. So obviously, if I'm firing them in a line like this, they're piercing through everything, and they're hitting multiple targets, and so I'm getting more damage out of them because they're piercing. Unfortunately, because of the way that Strike of Stormhorn works, instead of piercing, they just simply get destroyed. And they don't really do as much damage as the ones that do not get destroyed. So this whole splashing mechanic that is on here that says ball lightning splashes on impact is not just splashing on impact, it's also eating the ball lightning and removing it from the field, which is not really the way that ball lightning is supposed to function, and I'm not really sure why they went this way. One change I would make to this item right off the bat is I would remove the destruction of the ball lightning from the equation. Keep the ball lightning in play and let it travel in its normal pathway and deteriorate at its normal area, because having it destroy itself is kind of weird. It just works against the way that ball lightning functions, and also lowers your overall damage output, because this means that instead of getting, like you would normally on a target, as you can see, let me go back to a single dummy, is instead of getting multiple hits on the dummy like you would normally get, so you would get like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4 hits on the training dummy. Instead of just getting 4 hits on the training dummy, you're getting 1. That's it. Just one hit on the training dummy. So you go from 4 hits to 1 hit. Now, granted, the damage goes up a little bit, but the loss of AoE damage here is pretty massive. Now, it does increase the damage of the ball lightning by up to 100% times, and it also stuns the target as a result. Now, on top of this, it also has a maximum range that is shorter than the ball lightnings that are currently active. So if you take a ball lightning and you fire off a ball lightning, you'll see that the ball lightning can get to about right here, like the stash. Yeah, about the stash is where the ball lightning gets to, which essentially means the maximum range of this is from this location to the stash. When you put on the Strike of Stormhorn, another problem is that not only does it cause your ball lightnings to kill themselves, but it also causes your ball lightnings to destroy earlier. As you can see, the ball lightning can only reach right here, which is significantly shorter than the ball lightning that you had previously. And on top of this, the blowback, which is where you're getting the damage from the way that it works, because it kills itself right here, and then the blowback travels to here. So even if you count in the blowback into this, you're still not reaching the original length, or rather like range, of ball lightning in general. It does have some interesting damage output, and it can scale higher than ball lightning could previously, but you can also cast way more ball lightnings than you're getting here. So while, yes, they're doing more damage, you're getting far less of them. Whereas in the other equation, you're getting far more of them, and they're just less damage. But I think it actually kind of works out. It's weird. Then on top of this, we also get the fact that it kills itself. I'll make sure to follow Tuksa. It kills itself. So it has to kill itself, otherwise it doesn't get the blowback, right? So it's basically killing itself early to give you the blowback, but the blowback automatically happens on the monster anyway. Then there's a Super Ball Lightning part, which is Super Ball Lightnings are larger and deal 125% times increased damage and have a higher lucky hit chance, and their stun duration is increased to 3 seconds. So in this particular case, when you do get a Ball Lightning, it's very obvious that you've gotten a Ball Lightning, a Super Ball Lightning, because they are much larger and they do a much larger blowback than the originals. And you can see the damage increase when you get a Super Ball Lightning versus when you get a regular Ball Lightning. That was definitely a super, as you can see. And the Super Ball Lightning is a whole part of this. So if you're going to utilize the Strike of Stormhorn, you're probably going to have to maximize your chance for ball lightning projectiles to cast twice as much as possible to get those Super Ball Lightnings, to up your probability of getting the Super Ball Lightnings, because that's where most of your damage is going to be coming from anyway. Because the regular Ball Lightnings aren't really going to cut it. The Super Ball Lightnings is where you get more damage output. The increased lucky hit chance, the increased stun duration to 3 seconds is all very interesting. I just don't like it visually. I know I'm complaining hardcore about this item, but it's because I'm so disappointed in it. So visually, you know, when you're firing off a bunch of ball lightnings, and I can't really fire off very many on this character because I'm not set up for it, but let's just go ahead and cast a couple over here so I can get some mana regeneration. When you're firing off ball lightnings, it's just so satisfying in a straight line. You have so many ball lightnings, and they travel in this amazing pathway, and it's just so beautiful, right? But when you're wearing Strike of Stormhorn, like, all that beauty and all that, like, amazingness for the way that ball lightning functions just disappears. Like, you can't even see the ball lightnings anymore, like, because of the way that it functions. So if you're standing next to a target and you fire off a ball lightning, you don't even see the ball lightnings anymore. You don't see the electricity. You don't hear the ball lightning sound. You don't hear anything. Because as soon as it hits a target, it immediately kills itself. So all of the, like, the wonder of how the ability functions, all the, like, amazement of you know, like, seeing all the ball lightnings and hearing all the crackling energy and everything just disappears into the wind. And I don't like it. I don't like it. If you want to get your hands on one of these, I'm pretty sure this one drops from Beast in the Ice, if I remember correctly. And Beast in the Ice is map. Sanctuary. Beast in the Ice is just south of Kyovashad. It's well south, like westish. It's right here, Lair of the Beast in the Ice. So if you're in Kyovashad, you just take this little pathway right here to here. And you're going to need, of course, Distilled Fears for this. Distilled Fears drop from Nightmare Dungeons, Tree of Whispered Caches, Elite Monsters, World Bosses, Undercrow City, Kurast, all sorts of different places. Mainly Nightmare Dungeons, but you can get them from pretty much everywhere else. I've got so many this season, they're coming out of my ears. But of course, how many you get and, the likelihood of filling up on them is different from season to season. Some season they're rare, some seasons they're not. Like, it feels like this season they're just dropping like Halloween candy. So it'd be what it be. Let's talk about some of the other things about Strike a Stormhorn. So, it doesn't make a good build. Well, the answer to that question is that Sorceress is just kind of underpowered right now. Most of the builds that are currently working in Season 7 for the Sorceress to scale to particularly high heights are utilizing bugged things like the occult gems that turn their ultimates into witchcraft powers, the decay augmentation, which gives some sort of ridiculous scaling buff. There was actually quite a few of them this season that have been stomped out because they were like infinitely scaling damage output. There's actually a couple builds that are currently utilizing things like Deep Freeze, which is scaling extremely well with the witchcraft powers and also the fact that it has its own vulnerable scaling multiplier now, so it's extremely powerful. There are also a couple bugs with like Shatter and things like that that increase the damage of the Sorceress, but for the most part, like the actual builds, like the Ball Lightning builds, aren't particularly very powerful themselves, so much as they become more powerful once you start utilizing all the bugged stuff from the seasons. And man, everything's bugged this season. The other Ball Lightning one is the Okun's Catalyst, and this one drops from Lord Zir if you're trying to get a hold of that one. They're definitely like anti, to each other. Like, this is obviously a straight line attack, which is meant to be a ranged ability, and this one is a in your face, balls circling around you, more of a melee ability, essentially, right? I think that's pretty much it with these. Like I said, I was a little disappointed in this one. I'm sure in later seasons, as they start to tweak the Sorceress more, this one will probably be more effective. And I'm really hoping that they change their mind on the whole destruction of the Ball Lightning thing. I think that would drastically increase the damage of Strike of Stormhorn, just simply allowing the Ball Lightning to pass through and not be consumed upon causing the splashback. But we'll see. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals joining me. Be sure to say hi to Mr. Dusty. He is a goodest boy who's been sitting with me like a champion this entire time. If you are interested in supporting the channel, I do have Patreon. You can become a member of the channel. You can also send donations via the donation link in the description, or you could just simply send a super chat. There's tons of ways to support the channel, and I would really appreciate you guys supporting, because I got a family to feed too, right? Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and keep watching.